Hi, my name is Malu. I'm a journalism major and marketing minor at Georgia State University. I like to describe myself as someone who stands out in a crowd of people and someone who isn't afraid to step out of her comfort zone despite fear of rejection. There's a place for go-getters, and that place is the fashion industry. The fashion industry is constantly moving, evolving, and reinventing itself. I'll bring a little bit of funk, edge, and an unapologetic me, fearless and inspired by the world around me. On my best days, my style reflects my personality, minimal, chic, and classy. Since starting my own fashion brand, Mora Chung, I've learned the craftsmanship and dedication it takes to build something from the ground up. With experience in business management, product development, and photo shoot production, and running and delegating to a team of 4 others, I've never felt more certain of what the future has in store for me. I have the character to succeed despite overwhelming obstacles and the drive to learn from those around me. Fashion never stops, and you won't be seeing me stopping anytime soon. This is just the beginning.
Volume 2. Okay.
Don't mistake it, babe.
Today we're checking out Rocket Vintage here in West Midtown Atlanta. They carry all things vintage, from antique pieces from the roaring 20s to trending items you see on the runway. They have it all. So sit back and hold on to your moments. 80s band tees, distressed denim, authentic leather jackets. Trends we see making way through the fashion scene. The goal? To make a statement without breaking your wallet. Owner of Rocket Vintage, Mara, shares her story.
I always knew I was slightly left of center, very different than most kids. I loved black, I loved rock and roll, heavy metal. But when I came to Atlanta, there was a store in Little 5 Points called Steffen's. When they closed their doors, I realized that there was a need for the community. There was a niche in the Atlanta market that we needed a vintage store. Started out as just a passion collecting vintage, and then it grew into an obsession. A lot of times the clothing is the last thing that people buy, and it's always the first thing that I look for, so I've collected that way. It's a simple hat, it's a beautiful color, but it's something that people wore back in the 60s, and in 2019 it's just as fashionable. I don't discriminate when it comes to vintage, because vintage it's really hard to find. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it really is hard to find.
The environment left me with an urge to try on a few things, so it was only natural I took advantage and did just that. And don't worry, I will be back for those boots.
I look for pieces that are handmade, unusual, and definitely from recycled fibers, something different, something nobody else has. In 2015, there were 16 million tons of textiles, and only 15% of that was actually recycled. It wasn't just for my love of vintage, but it was also to restore that, to bring something back. Because there's so many pieces that if I didn't buy them or somebody else didn't buy them, they would end up in waste. Now, I don't look for just one thing. I literally look for anything that spikes my interest or anything that brings joy.
Vintage isn't about who you are. It's about what you wear, how you wear it, and learning the value of self-expression. It allows you to personalize and customize your style to be authentic to you.
And here I was wearing black all the time, but it became my thing where it was I felt like I didn't have to be that girl that wore the black. I could wear any color I wanted. I could be any color of the rainbow.